What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Understanding the Reason. My name is Jerome Majette. I'm your host. I'm glad that you're here, man. I tell you, somebody asked me, how come you always smiling? I can't help it, man. Listen, if it's all right for me to just be me, man, I just got a lot to smile about, okay? I just got a lot to smile about. Man, it's just been wonderful having you guys here, having you in the discussion. Some of you have been leaving your comments, and I might be a little bit slow getting to you, but I definitely will. Thank you again, man. It's been a blessing and a pleasure getting to know some of you guys, man. It's just been really cool. You know what I'm saying? As long as we keep everything, civil, and I'm not trying to offend you and you're not trying to offend me, and we're just talking, right? Because everybody, I believe that everybody on the planet wants to know, why are we here? Like, what is this life all about? Of course, I'm coming from a scriptural worldview. My dad was a pastor. I grew up around this. I grew up around the Word of God and pastors and bishops and evangelists and prophetess and all that kind of stuff. That's where I come from. But I had questions. I still had questions. I had questions, and some of those questions were not answered. Some of those questions were, the response is, you just got to believe. Well, man, God didn't say that. He said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So if he says that we're destroyed for lack of knowledge, that means that he wants us to seek knowledge. Am I right? So that's what it's all about. And we were talking about earlier in our previous video, how Satan has deceived the world. That's what he's been doing, right? Deceiving the world into two different things, right? Believing that God is not God, right? And believing that he doesn't exist. Man, listen, he's deceiving people into believing that God is not God and that there is no God, that we came here through evolutionary process. We got here. We are where we are because evolution got us here. Not the fact, despite the fact, that it's impossible for an apple to become an orange. It's impossible for a grape to become a grapefruit. That's why? Why is that? Because there's a set of laws that governs everything. Everything in the earth is governed by something called the seed principle. And we're gonna, man, listen, we're gonna get into that later. I don't want to jump ahead, but there's certain ideas and thoughts out there that promote that there is no God. That there is no God. And also that you're an idiot if you believe there is. You're an idiot if you believe there is. Somebody said to me, man, so I find it absolutely appalling that there's people in the 21st century like you who believe that God exists, and that they equate the belief in God to Santa Claus or unicorns or some imaginary being. And see, me, I don't have any argue for that. That's what people believe. That's what they want to believe. So guess what we have to do? Accept them for who they are and understand that see, the God that I know, he dwells with us according to knowledge. Right? He dwells with us according to knowledge. That's why I started researching it for myself. It started out as a Bible study. It ended up into a book. Make sure you get your copy. Understanding the Reason God Made Man, what made him do it. What would a supreme being, an eternal, all-powerful, all-knowledgeable, omniscient, omnipresent God to create physical temporary matter. He's eternal. what use would that have for him? Right? When you start to think about it, it doesn't add up. First of all, it doesn't add up that we just can't, just stuff just happened. The Big Bang or whatever, people say, it just boom, this big explosion type of thing, and boom, out of this massive explosion came all of this systematic organization. Tell me, just some of you listening, tell me where that happens at, right? If you took a bomb and you put that bomb inside of a car, let's say you put it inside of a car, and you blew it, exploded that bomb, would the end result be the car coming back together in some type of uniformity? Absolutely not. If you have an explosion, pieces are going to go in all kinds of different directions, right? And it won't result in coming back together. So you can't I can't wrap my mind around, some big explosion in the universe happened eons ago. And out of that chaos came all of this organization and all of these systems and everything that you see, the organization that happens in nature and in life and in biology and the laws of physics and so forth and so on, and go on and on and on and on. It just doesn't make sense. What makes sense to me is the fact that if I'm looking at a painting, for example, right? I'm looking at a Rembrandt. I'm looking at a Rembrandt. There could be no Rembrandt without Rembrandt, if that makes sense. You can't have it. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, well, there is no God, but yet we see organization in such a way that there has to be some form of intelligence behind it. It has to be. It can't happen no other way, right? And then it takes me right back to what I was saying before. Show me anywhere in this life that happens, right? And if that's the truth, hey, so if anything can happen, just let it so happen that, $50-60 million is in my bank account. You feel what I'm saying? There has to be a catalyst. There has to be some type of initiator, and then there would have to be some entity or some force or some intelligence to actually know exactly how to put it together so that it functions like it's supposed to function, so that it does what it's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't get behind, if there is no God, there is no why. There's no reason. What are we here for? Right? Do we just live just to, like I was saying before, get married, buy a house, live in a house, get a car, have a career, you know what I'm saying? Watch your kids grow up and have kids, and then you adios out of here. Why are we here? Why did God do this? Why did he do this? And for those of us who believe there is no God, you still have to answer the question, what for? Why? Well, we believe that we have some answers for you here in this resource, Understanding the Reason God Made Man, What Made Him Do It. Go ahead and get your copy of it. Man, I tell you what, I'm so happy that you're here. Please leave your comments down below. I'm eager to hear your comments, and like and share. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your frenemies, whatever, okay? Let's get the conversation going. Let's get it started. Let's talk about it on our next video. We're going to get deeper into, I kind of digress just a little bit, but we're going to get deeper into the book. Make sure you get your copy. We love you. We appreciate you so very much. Have a blessed day. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.